On Monday, my boss asked me to prepare a sales pitch for the nice people at Acme Incorporated, and to make sure that I got a couple of facts checked by someone in the software group, and another couple of facts checked by someone in the hardware group, before getting final approval from her boss and her boss's boss. On Tuesday morning, I worked hard to finish the presentation, then sent it to 3 coworkers, Peter, Paul, and Mary, to check. Peter and Mary sent back basically the same comments, but didn't copy each other, and both suggested that I learn to spell the word definitely. So I fixed my mistakes and sent the new draft to Sally, my buddy in software, and to the office administrator in our Smallville hardware office, whose name is John, but who people call Bubbles because he used to be a clown, to see if he knew someone who could check my facts. Bubbles sent me a quick note saying he knew the perfect guy and not to worry, and Sally sent a note saying she'd check my presentation through on Wednesday. That's when I got some really useful comments from Paul, who's slow but insightful, so I made quick fixes and sent another version through to Sally and Bubbles. On Wednesday, Sally sent me her comments, and I realized that they impacted the hardware assumptions. So I sent a note to Bubbles, but got an out-of-office notice saying that he was at a clown school reunion and would be back next week. So then I sent a note to everyone I know in Smallville, asking if they knew who this perfect hardware guy was. 5 of the people I know answered that they didn't know who this guy could be, and the other 4 didn't answer at all. I called them and found out that they didn't know this perfect guy either. My stomach started to feel burning. So I waited for a note from the perfect guy, whose name it turns out is Fred, though people call him Psycho, which finally came on Thursday. And when I got his comments, I called Fred and told him I was sorry, but that the hardware assumptions had changed. And that's when I found out why they call him Psycho. I didn't sleep very well that night at all, and when I did, I had dreams of my boss doing bad things to me. By Friday, Psycho had cooled down a bit, and he sent me his comments on the new version of the pitch, which I promptly sent to my grandboss and my great-grandboss. My great-grandboss wanted to know why the software section had changed, so I looked through my email and found Sally's note, sent it up the chain. Both my boss and my great-grandboss were happy then, and approved the pitch, which is a good thing, because we were meeting the client on Monday. That weekend, I told my daughter about what a stressful week I'd had, and she said whatever, and then told me it's no wonder that I was stressed, because email is so last week, and I live in the dark ages and will never advance, and could she borrow $60 so she could go to that thing with that guy? And as I gave her the $60, I asked her what she meant, and she said I should be using Web 2, which I thought was for social things, but she said that no, it was for collaboration too, and she knew that because she saw something on YouTube, whatever that is, about Enterprise Web 2 and Lotus Connections, which sounded familiar because my company has that. So I asked a buddy the next week who knows about cool things, and he said that yeah, I could have had a much better week if I'd used Connections. On Tuesday, I could have posted my draft in my files area on Connections, then sent a link to Peter, Paul, and Mary, and to Sally and Bubbles at the same time from right inside Connection. Then Bubbles could have sent it to Psycho, and I could have seen that he did that right there in the tool. That way, everyone would see the comments as they happened, and only one person would have mocked me for misspelling definitely. And I wouldn't have bugged Sally and Bubbles twice, and I wouldn't have sent 8 emails, gotten 16 emails, or made 4 phone calls tracking down Psycho, who had never gotten angry with me. What's more, I would have saved $60, because my daughter wouldn't have caught me on a bad day. So all I can say is that this social media stuff isn't just about being social. It's about being smart and productive. And like email is so last week.